People, welcome to yet another podcast. I don't even know what number it is.
This is number 3. This is number 3. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Stay tuned. Friday's out the year. Maybe every Friday. Maybe not. We've been pretty busy, so haven't had one on the last couple Fridays. We just came back from NAMM. Oh, but wait, before we get started, let's shout out our sponsors.
I mean, I thought you forgot. I was gonna say something.
The DrumCoaches.com, where you can get all your lessons for a one-time price, one-time payment only. That's it. One time. Come on over. Stop playing. Pay once. You're a member forever. And then the other app, you know, the free app. Jeez. Who does free anymore? You know what I mean? DrumTrax App.
I just happen to do it. That's just what it is. DrumTrax App.
It has all the songs that I created and he took credit for on there, and currently adding new ones. Let's move right along.
I don't even have time to argue with you.
Exactly.
This is the thing.
Let's not do the semantics. Let's get into the topic.
We're going to get
here
into
for this.
They need to know the truth.
They didn't come here.
You
for
can't
all
even
that.
tell them what's really on the app.
They didn't come here for all that.
See, but they did.
This is the third podcast. This is finna be a breeze.
Listen. Free tracks, drumless play along tracks on the app, a ton of them. Check out the app. This guy didn't make a single track.
Yes, I did.
He didn't make anything.
Made it all.
No.
And when we put Mino Yanci's album on there without the drums, I'm getting all the credit.
Yeah, Mino Yanci.
Y'all need to check out our band, Mino Yanci. MinoYanci, Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp. You heard a little bit of the music on the intro and a little bit on the outros, but y'all need to go ahead and check that out and give us your honest feedback. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and the whole 9.
And I definitely plan on releasing that whole EP without drums on the app, so you guys can play along to it. But you might want to listen to the music first, because you just want to listen to it for sure.
Yeah, do that. Follow all of our social media handles, every last one of them. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram, the Drum Coaches, and DrumTrax App, all one word, DrumTrax App. We'll leave links in the description below if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube.
Everywhere. So, if you listen on SoundCloud,
all that,
iTunes, the whole 9, wherever.
So let's get into it.
We got rehearsal in a minute.
I mean, that is a true statement. So there might be someone walking in, bass player, guitar player. You might see the door swing open. So let's get into it, man. We came back from NAMM.
Yo, NAMM this year, NAMM was an adventure. Like, I mean,
in your opinion, or just that you had an adventure?
My personal experience, bro.
Okay.
First of all,
tell the people from your perspective.
I live in Northern California, right? So the drive from Northern California, if you don't put your hand down, okay, the drive from Northern California to LA is typically 5.5, 6 hour drive. But we were going to Anaheim, which is a little further south of LA, and it should have took 6, 7. It took me 8.5 hours, bro. It took me 8.5 hours, bro.
That's what happens when you leave late.
Listen.
He was born late. I was born 4 days early, so he's always late.
No, we weren't even supposed to leave at the same time. But I messed around and left at 10 o'clock in the morning and hit traffic everywhere. Everywhere. And then after that, I went to the hotel where the rest of the band was staying, changed clothes to go to the gig that we were supposed to play, right? And as I'm driving to the gig, I get pulled over in South Central by the cops. Mind you, I drive a Prius, and I got pulled over because they couldn't see inside my car. That's what they say. And I don't have any tinted windows. I'm in a 2009 Prius, and they pulled me over because they couldn't see in my car. But you know,
sounds like a little bit of whiv, but go ahead.
Listen, definitely was. Like, you know, they made me get out the car, hit me up, threw my hands behind my back, put me up against the fence while they searched my car, and it was all because they couldn't see inside my 2009 Toyota Prius
with no tent
that didn't have any tent. That's just like, and if you've seen a Prius, you know that car is a big window. Like the whole, like,
shout out to the LAPD, man. Y'all doing such a fine job.
Wonderful job, guys.
Thank you for protecting and serving the people.
But I'm glad that I made it out of that experience, and we went
alive.
Literally, I was like a block from the gig. Then we went to the gig. It was more of a jam session, and
listen, don't put their business out in the street like that.
No, it was cool though. It was cool. Eric Moore was there. He played. It was ridiculous. We played. Some other musicians played that were from LA and some from out of the state. It was a really dope experience. And then we also got to meet up with
the guitar player was funkin'.
Killing, right?
He was.
I got video on my phone.
I don't even know his name. He was.
Doesn't matter what he was playing.
He was in that.
I don't need to know him. I need to know what he was playing.
He was in that thing, bro. I mean, like deep off in that thing.
But it's funny because like it was a room. That first show we were playing. It was musicians playing to a room full of musicians, and when that happens, nobody cares about what's going on. Not in the moment, or they won't admit it because, you know, musicians were too cool for school. So we got
too much pride.
Yeah. And so even when Eric was playing and going in and bashing, as soon as he was done, it was like.
But also part of that is a lot of these musicians not only have seen it all, done it all as far as traveling and seeing local talent, but because of YouTube,
facts,
you can see all the killing musicians that you couldn't see before. Like you had to wait till they came to your city to go to the concert.
Right.
Now, if I want to hear Corey Henry kill, I just type in literally Corey Henry killing, and there's probably 10 videos right now.
More than that
on YouTube. Well, I'm saying with that title. Of course, there's more videos with Corey Henry's name in there, but with that title of Corey Henry killing or Eric Moore killing or
facts,
bashing, smashing, whatever word you want to put with that name. It's all there. So it's kind of like, man, you've been overwhelmed with it. It's not really a wow factor. See, I got there a couple days earlier than you did. Traffic was love because I left at 4 in the morning.
Nobody asked you all that, but
it was a beautiful thing.
Nobody asked you all of that.
When I got there, I linked up with Eric
for sure.
To do private drum lessons. We did private drum lessons at a little studio right up the street from the NAMM Convention Center.
Yeah.
Anaheim Convention Center, and I got to watch Eric from basically this close for 5 hours straight, and we know Eric is a beast.
For sure.
So by the time we get to the gig, after watching him 5 hours a day for 3 days in a row, even for me, it was just like, yeah, he killing. Because it's like, bro, y'all don't understand. He was doing more than that.
Right. You get used to it. It becomes regular.
It becomes regular.
The norm. Yeah.
It still is raw.
Right.
It's still like, oh my goodness, this guy is ridiculous. But after seeing it over and over, it's just like going to a restaurant and you eat the food and you're like, man, this is great. And then you go to that restaurant 3 times a day, every day for a week.
Yeah.
By Wednesday, you're gonna be looking like,
even if you have something that's not as good, you're just gonna be glad to have something different.
Anything different. So for me, that's what that was. I didn't get a chance to see any other drummers go in. Only one drummer after me played pocket, but then after that, Eric got back on. I don't know if there was any other drummers. He said that they went till like 3 in the morning. So
yeah, I was definitely out of there at because I got there at 8:30, and I was out of there by midnight. 12:30.
Yeah, I can't remember when I left, but
that's because you were blocked in. Listen. See, this is the thing. He thought he had the dope parking spot. Was like, yeah, I got here before everybody. They should have got here on time. I'm gonna get this dope parking spot, and that dope parking spot turned into him being blocked in for hours.
No, I was only blocked in for 45 minutes,
which felt like hours because you left outside. You left before I did. And sat in your car until.
Don't worry about it. I had Popeyes, so it was cool. It was straight. They didn't have no Chipotle where we was at, but Popeyes, so we was straight. But that was just the Friday joint.
Yes.
Like I said, I did lessons Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we had that. Then we did the NAMM. I got into the NAMM show on Saturday.
Are you gonna tell them how you got in?
Whoa, pause. Fans might be listening, Brody. Okay, moving right along.
That's a story for another day. For sure.
Another day. I was shocked and amazed that a lot of people recognized us again. Because we haven't been on YouTube a lot in 2017.
Right.
And you know how we are.
We're trying to change that for 2018.
We're trying to do a little something for y'all.
We trying.
But you know how we are. We just regular people. So when it is extremely humbling and an honor when people do want to take a picture with you or have an autograph, or even some of them didn't even want that. They just wanted to shake my hand and just be like, bro, yo, I watch all the Drum Field Fridays. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, well, that's what's up.
I was at NAMM all day on Saturday. And while I was there, I was shocked about the same thing because you weren't there for the majority of the time. And then even when you got there, we was together for a second.
I was staying at the homie house. Okay, my big cousin got a spot right across from the ocean, so I was enjoying life. I don't know about you, Reverend, but I mean,
I'm not gonna lie to you. You sent me that video of what it looked like. I was jealous.
Ocean view,
but
shout out to Long Beach, LBC.
When you got there, we was together for a second, and then you kind of split ways and was doing our own things. But while I was there, I was shocked that people were coming up to me doing the same thing, because even though we haven't been on YouTube, I haven't even been really present super much on the site like that, right? Like I haven't put out too many drum lessons at all last year.
That's right.
I'm
doing all the work, so pay me double.
Okay, so we're trying to change that a little bit too. However, they still like remember. They still was one in pictures. They was talking about the app. They was talking about the tracks. How much the app has been a blessing to them. That's what they literally say. It's a blessing, bro.
Brody, you look like a defensive lineman. It's kind of hard not to recognize you.
Listen, there was a ton of people in there, and there was people dressed in masks. Some people thought it was Comic-Con in there. So it wasn't like I'm the one walking around sticking out. You got Eric walking around being Eric, and you know he's a big character in real life. Like he's just his whole personality is like huge.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it wasn't like I was the person that was the and you had all kind of famous drummers and musicians and artists and all kind of people walking through there. So trust me, it's not like I was.
But they not 6'4", 250, all muscle.
Oh my God. You want to get the door? So actually, one of the homies is one of the band members.
One of the band members is here
because we got rehearsal in a minute.
He has a key.
Oh, do we?
He's walking in.
Which one is it?
It has to be Christian, our bass player.
Right, because Brandon's always late.
Seymour bass.
Come on through. Go around that way so you don't cut in front of the camera. Go on through.
Seymour bass.
We don't want him to see you in your short shorts. No, I'm playing.
We should get him on.
Oh, man.
Little knee action. Okay, that's Big Swole Seymour bass.
Big Swole, yes.
What's your IG handle? Seymour bass _ or is it Seymour bass 7?
No, it's Seymour bass.
Seymour bass.
Seymour
the letter C.
It's on the screen if you're watching it.
Oh, you're gonna okay.
And if you're not watching it,
that's IG. Go follow him. Now.
When we say Moore, it's Moore. It's our bass player with Mino Yanci.
Yeah, we call him Eric Moore's cousin.
Right.
Just like that. So,
anyway,
he's in the building. But anyway.
Yeah, so people would come, they want to take pictures. I remember when I was at the Groove Gear show, because I played that Saturday night at the Groove Gear show with Eric and this bass player named Cody Wright, who's ridiculous. You need to check out Cody Wright, bass player, killing. While we were there, I remember standing there with Eric, and people were taking pictures with Eric, getting autographs and just talking and hanging out. And then we would have been standing there for like 30, 45 minutes. All had already been socializing. And then one person would look over at me and be like, hey, bro, you're Damani. You're that guy from there. And I'm like, yeah, like we've been kicking it though. Bro, now all of a sudden everybody wants pictures again. To me, it was just different. It was cool, but it was kind of weird at the same time, right?
Because we're not used to that. We regular.
It's good. It feels good though to know that what you're doing has some type of impact.
Of course.
So, but anyway, that night I played at the Groove Gear. The Groove Gear show was dope. Eric asked me to play with him. He had mentioned me playing with him like 2 weeks before NAMM, but then we were like, yeah, we're not going to do it because my band Mino Yanci had another show that night, so we didn't think there was going to be time.
Yeah, he was late.
Excuse the interruption. We had a little technical difficulty
with the Apple
software. We didn't come here for all of that. We didn't come here for all of that.
It happens every time.
We had a technical difficulty. We about to get right back into
come on
the
over
podcast.
the windows.
Anyway, Eric asked me to do the show, the Groove Gear show, and so we went up. I was nervous as crap. It took me all the way back to like being in church and you finally get to play on a Sunday morning for the first time and you're like excited to do it, but you're scared as crap at the same time. It was that kind of feeling because I mean like all of the musicians that I looked up to was in there. Like I had just seen a bunch of dope musicians go up before us. Like we went up right after Israel's band. Like it was Israel holding in his band, and so they all had just finished taking solos going in too. Now it was like, all right, y'all up. And of course, Eric felt good about what he was about to do because he knew he was about to smash. And so did Cody Wright, the bass player, was going in. I was sitting there like, I am the only one that has no clue about what's going on. I have no clue.
And that's where the nervousness started to settle in because I don't think you rehearsed the song with them before, did you?
There was nothing to rehearse.
Well,
they didn't even. We were literally standing outside.
Welcome to being a professional musician.
Before the show started, and he was like, yo, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a solo, open solo for 5 minutes, and then Cody's going to do a solo for 5 minutes. And I was like, you know, just a musician that was there to help because it was featuring them two. And he was like, we gonna just rock out, and we're going to go into this groove at the end of my solo. And listen to this. And he gave me his iPhone with some headphones and played a Michael Jackson song.
First mistake, he gave you an iPhone. Should have been a Droid.
Anyway, enough with the semantics.
I'm trying to get straight to it.
Anyway,
get you a Droid.
He gave me his phone. I'm listening to the song. I'm like, okay. I'm like lightweight familiar with this Michael Jackson song. Are we doing the changes? Are we doing the bridge? Like, are we? He's like, we just gonna go.
Hey, it's happened to me before.
I'm like, all right. So I mean, I did a video a long time ago on YouTube on a Jump to Tuesday about how to deal with being nervous for a gig, and my #1 suggestion was to prepare, but I didn't even have that opportunity. So like I remember sitting there right before we played, looking at the keys and trying to rely on the fact that I actually practice my instrument, and so I'm familiar with these keys, and hopefully just wherever we go, I have to trust that I'm familiar with this instrument. Like I was literally looking at the keyboard and talking to it, saying, "Hey, flat, I know you.
Yeah, I taught you.
I've spent time with you.
I taught him everything he knows. Now you're finally starting.
Then
to
I was
get
like,
it.
we're not gonna be in A flat. We're gonna be in B natural. What's up, B natural?
He was scared to death.
Listen.
Yeah, he called me right before he went on stage. I was like, bro, I don't know what to do, man.
No, I didn't do all that. Now you're wilding.
So,
now you're wilding.
It's all good. I pep talked you. It's cool.
I did send you a text message and it was like, I have never been this nervous. I haven't been this nervous in a long time. But it was great. It was like a great experience to go through.
I'm not gonna put your business out in the street like that. It's all good. Stays between here, bro. Me, you, and the band.
I like how you do that. Like it's a real thing.
Brody, it's good. You straight.
But yeah, it was cool to go through that type of experience to do that, because on the other side of it was really cool. The show actually went really well. But then I had to run out of there to get to JT Smith's where we played at.
Well, no, not really, because they made us wait for 3.5 hours. I had to be back.
That's true.
To service by 7 in the morning. And I still had to drive to Long Beach.
I don't know how you. I almost don't believe you.
I had to drive to Long Beach to get my stuff.
And
from
Long
my
Beach,
cousin's
how
house.
long was Long Beach? How far is Long Beach away from Anaheim?
From where I was, it was only like 30 minutes.
Right, but how far is Anaheim, or how far is Long Beach to the Grapevine?
Well, I don't know that. I know how far it is from there to the church I was driving to.
Well, how long? How
the
far?
GPS said 7 hours.
What'd you do in it? 5.5?
5:45, 6. I was moving.
You wasn't driving. You was literally flying. That car was like off the ground a little bit.
Yeah, it was. Listen, my check engine light came on, but we're not gonna.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
Ain't gonna hold it.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Bro. It's not. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we ended up playing dumb late that night, but there was a couple bands that played at that.
That was killing.
Nice.
That Tony Taylor's band was killing.
There's some group from Berkeley, fire.
The drummer with the dreads, I forget your name, Doc, murdering.
Fire.
What's the other cat? Was it Jeff Lowe Davis? Was Jeff?
I don't know.
Seymour Bass. You remember that guy's name? No, they went like third, and
they must have been like before I got there.
Yeah, no, it was before you got there. They went in, and then they went to funkin', up tempo funk. Brother, the whole room was standing.
Yeah,
people that was barely paying attention, because like you said earlier, it's hard to impress musicians.
Right.
So it's a room full of musicians, and the first 2 bands that went up, people were engaged but not engaged.
Right.
When that 3rd band got up, people stood up out of their seats.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the front rows, it's like, yo, what is going on in here? Like, these cats is murdering. And so we had to go way after that, thank God, because they was killing. But I didn't feel nervous at all with that.
Not that gig, because I'm prepared with Mino.
Yeah, it's our stuff.
Yeah.
It was just like, come on, man, let's get on out of here, because some of us got to be back and can't be late. So I
was getting sleepy. We went up at like 1 in the morning. It was like 12, like 12:30, right?
Yeah, something like that. 12:30, 12:45, maybe 1. It might have been 1.
It was around there.
What I do know is I had 23 minutes of sleep. I drove to the church. I got there 25 minutes early, and I closed my eyes, set my alarm, and in 23 minutes got up, went in there, and I played services all day. It was rough.
Look, I took that Sunday off on purpose.
Never. Well, see,
I didn't come back to NorCal till Tuesday.
Not everybody can take Sundays off. Okay, some of us got bills to pay.
Okay. Okay.
Some of us got bills to pay, Doc.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much our NAMM recap.
NAMM was very productive actually this year.
Yeah.
It was I got to talk to the people I needed to talk to. I wasn't down there for no kind of endorsements, but
hey, listen, new people who have not been, don't go for endorsements. Don't go so that you can take pictures with people and post it on your social media like you know them. It's okay to post pictures of people that you look up to, right? Like, oh man, I got a chance to meet this person. But a lot of the people I'm seeing, I ain't gonna say no names, They posting these.
We ain't gonna hold you, baby.
They posting these soliloquies like they know who Aaron Spears is.
Right.
Yo, kicking it with the homie Aaron Spears. Good, and they'll tag him in there. Good to see you again, man. Can't wait to link up with you again next year. And what? Hanging out with him and yeah, man, such a cool cat. This is what we do. No, he doesn't. He doesn't know who you are.
No, Darnell.
He met you for literally 45 seconds.
Right.
And then he met 100 other people right after you.
Right.
So yeah, don't go down there for that, trying to stunt like you know these people. They don't know you. You don't know. You know of them. But go because it's a fun thing to do. Everyone should experience it.
For sure.
Check out all the new gear, even the gear you can't afford. It's all right. Go play it. It's cool. But yeah, don't go for the endorsements and don't go for the fandom of I'm taking a bunch of pictures with a bunch of people and I'm posting all of them like I know these people and they know me.
Right.
And it's just like, man, you gotta stop. You really gotta stop it, bro.
Yo,
this is awful.
NAMM can be overwhelming, but if you actually have a purpose for going,
or if you have somebody there that can be a tour guide.
I had that experience.
Somebody who's been there before.
Yes.
That's the best advice I can give you.
Be introduced to people. I mean, but like I said, there has to be a purpose behind it. Sure. Unless you do just want to go and geek out, because there are the people who go and geek out over all the gear and they're just excited to see everything.
I'd be excited about the stuff outside of NAMM.
Right.
Because you get to see all the great musicians that you look up to. They're actually playing at some venue right around the corner.
For sure.
And they're playing with other dope musicians.
But I think it's different for us because we actually have more of a purpose and we know some people who can introduce us and we can actually, there's an opportunity at least to actually build some type of real relationship with the people that we meet because of the people that we already know. That part. So it's still a little different for us. But yeah, at the end of the day, NAMM is dope. If you haven't done it once, you want to do it at least once. And for most people, once is enough for a while.
That's it.
But anyway, we ain't gonna hold you. We got rehearsal right now. The band is here. They waiting on us.
They waiting.
They over there warming up. I don't know if you can
Hey
hear
man,
them.
did y'all heard what Quincy Jones said? Family?
Listen,
y'all.
We gonna talk about that Quincy Jones interview. We gonna talk about that. Not in this podcast. We gonna talk about that Quincy Jones
Quincy
interview.
out here
he
going
is out
in.
Here wilding. And I want to talk about it. I definitely want to talk about
stay
it.
Stay tuned for the next podcast, man.
We gonna for sure.
All right, good people. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace.